Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here at the Yoga Bo channel. My name is Boyce, aka Yoga Bo. Today we are here at Atlantic Beach. Very excited to be at the beach for the first time. Lucky to choose a day with very little wind, and it is absolutely gorgeous. A little overcast, but the temperature and the whole vibes couldn't be any better. Thank you so much for joining us here on our journey. Today we're going to be talking about standing postures, bonsai, pyramid, and triangle. Very excited. Make sure this is your practice. Listen to your body. If you feel any pain or discomfort, please by all means come out of that posture or pose. We can always discuss later. Feel free to grab props if you have them nearby. If not, feel free to take a pause and go grab some. We also have modification and variation videos here on this channel. By all means, check those out if you like, or if yoga is a new practice for you. Once you're ready, we'll go ahead and start in a supine position or laying down on our back, and we'll go ahead and begin. To do so, to get on my back, I can either grab the back of my thighs and gently roll down one vertebrae at a time, or you can find your favorite hip and slowly take your time finding this lying down position. We're going to take just a moment to center, do a quick little warm up, and we'll get things going. But while we're here, just taking just a moment, you can be in a child's pose, seated, lying down like such as myself. We'll start to work with those long inhalations through the nose, feeling that belly rise, feeling that chest expand, followed by that long exhalation through the nose, feeling that counter effect, now the belly and chest falling. Staying with that breath, maybe through this practice, we use that Ujjayi breathing, constricting the throat nice and gently, getting that ocean's breath. Here we are at the beach, it's perfect. I find that ocean's breath makes it very easy, much easier to maintain those longer inhales, exhales. I have more control with that slight constriction. And when you're ready, we can walk that left foot close to our body if we like, anchoring down the sole of that foot. And on your next inhale, we can send that right leg to the sky or the ceiling, maybe flexing and extending that right leg now, working that knee joint, that hinge joint, using our hands if we like for support. We can start flexing and extending that foot, working out the ankle, staying with those long inhalations, that Ujjayi breath, really starting to pair that mindful movement and mindful breath. When you're ready, we can, at an extended leg, start making circles with that right big toe in the sky. Thinking about maybe an intention for today's practice. When you're at a center point, you can reverse direction. Maybe you've got some nice, easy music in the background. When you're ready, we can bring that leg a little closer to our body, start making those circles with our right hip. Maybe that right hand is on the knee, supporting. Maybe your arms are stretched out wide to create that wide base. Maybe that hip circle is getting bigger with each rotation. When you're at a good point in the center and you're ready, you can reverse direction. Listening for all those crackles and pops, embracing all of those as long as there's no discomfort, nothing pinching or searing. When you're ready, we can halt those circles. We'll take that right ankle, bring it over our left knee, opening up that right hip that we just flexed and circled. If you like, you can bring that left leg up to your body, keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed, letting your arms do all the work. Sorry if you see my dirty foot in the screen. Yeah, the beach gave me jiffy feet. We'll stay with that nice breath, feeling good, thanking ourselves for today's practice, taking this time to listen to our body. And when you're ready, we can go ahead and lower that leg if it's in the air. You can unbind those legs, give them a nice sway if you like. Starting to decompress that lower lumbar. And once we're ready, we'll start to anchor that right foot down into the ground. And on an inhale, we'll send that left leg to the sky, heel shining at the ceiling, and we'll start to flex and extend that left leg now, finding balance in those two sides, our lower half. Maybe we're flexing and extending that ankle and foot while we're at it. This mindful movement, stretching, strengthening just little bits at a time, creating more space. When you're ready, we can start making those circles with our left toe in the ceiling or in the sky. Every day we come to the mat, just pushing our limits just ever so slightly, feeling those compounded effects over time. When you're ready, we can reverse directions on that toe. It's a beautiful thing. Everything working together, strengthening at the same time we're lengthening, creating space, but filling that space with strong muscles, strong tissue. And when you're ready, we can bring that left leg close to our body and start making those circles. I feel like I don't know what to do with my arms since I'm in the sand. When you're ready, we can reverse directions. That's one thing I love about this channel is it's pushed me to go outside of my comfort zone and practice yoga places I may be a little more nervous to do so. And I'm learning what I love, learning nature and how nature is fun to interact with. When you're ready, we can reverse those circles. And we can, that left hip feels open. We'll take that left ankle, cross it over that right knee now for that supine pigeon. We can bring that right leg into our body closer with our arms if you like. If that's in your practice. Otherwise, feel free to just keep that leg over that ankle with that right foot grounded. Gravity will absolutely give that leg a stretch, opening up that hip. If you like to, while you bring the leg in with your arms, you can use that left elbow against your left inner thigh to kind of open that hip up a little bit more. If you're looking for a super deep stretch for today's practice, when you're ready, we can lower that leg, unbinding them, maybe giving it one more sway. Maybe we grab the knees with the hands, giving ourselves a hug, maybe a gentle rock side to side. Maybe this time we do little circles with our knees, giving our back a massage on the mat. Whatever feels good. This is your practice, make it your own. When you're ready, we can gently rock. Feel free to take 3 or 4 rocks up to an easy seat. Otherwise, you can find your favorite side, gently pressing up with that top hand. Now that we're here, I'm actually going to send my feet out a little bit long. I'm going to keep with those hip openers and do a little Janu Shirsasana. So my right leg is extended all the way. My left leg is going to be bent, most likely. Feel free to grab a prop, sit on a blanket if you like for a little elevation. Your right leg can have a bend in the knee by all means if you have some tight hamstrings or any discomfort there. But we'll sit tall on an inhale, our sits bones grounded. Maybe that belly button points to that right flexed foot. And on an exhale, we hinge at the hips, making sure we don't round the spine and collapse, but we hinge the hips. letting that left leg just kind of do its thing, whether it's up in the air or down. Gravity will stretch that hip, but we're just focused on getting a nice deep stretch in our lower back, maybe this right hamstring. Each exhale, maybe I find myself a little bit closer to those toes, using my leg and the mat for assistance. By keeping a straight spine, we are strengthening that core. Notice your belly button is probably close to your spine. Your tummy is probably engaged. Your lower back is engaged. Otherwise, we would just be slouched over, which is what we're trying to avoid. On an inhale, we can ride that buoyancy. Maybe we float those arms up, framing our ears. And then when we're ready, we can extend that left leg. Go ahead and bring that right foot into our left thigh by flexing that right knee now. Sitting tall on those sits bones, both of them will ground through both right and left sits bones. Inhaling, that belly button now shifts to the left foot. Exhaling, we start to hinge at the hips. Maybe you've got a strap. Maybe you're not even worried about that foot down there. Feeling that edge of comfort. Noticing as you inhale, that buoyancy gives you length and space. As you exhale, you feel your hips just slowly, ever so millimeter by millimeter, just gently relax down until you find that edge where it says, no, you know what? I'm good right here. Staying with that long Ujjayi breath. And on the next inhale, we can ride that breath up, maybe floating our arms up if you like, starting to feel expansion in our chest. Exhale, bringing those legs down. We can send that right leg to the end of the mat, maybe shake them out. We'll do some seated twists. I'm going to take both of my feet, bring them slightly closer to my body. The soles of my feet are now on the mat, sitting tall through the sits bones, extending through the crown, making sure my ears are not forward projecting, but they're over my shoulders close together, my shoulder blades close together. On an inhale, I'm going to bring my hands to gratitude. And on the exhale, in this case, I'm going to twist to my right, your left if you're mirroring. Exhaling and twisting gently. Maybe I can set my right elbow outside of that left knee if you're mirroring. Sitting nice and tall, making sure not to slouch. We're using those back muscles. Extending through the crown, but just twisting, giving space to that chest cavity. Maybe feeling that deeper stretch with every exhale. Maybe sitting just a little taller with each inhale. Then we can exhale to our fullest expression. And on the next inhale, maybe we ride that breath gently to our center. And when we exhale, we find that counter, bring the twist over to our right. Maybe thinking about that intention for today's practice. Maybe just saying thank you for taking this time to let everything go. Focus on you, your body, your breath. Maybe you're out in nature. Exhaling on our next exhale to the fullest expression. Inhaling gently, bringing ourselves back to center, feeling great. What we'll do now is find our tabletop. I'm going to find my favorite hip, swing my feet around. Feel free to take your time ever so gently. Once I do so, I'm stacking bones here in that tabletop, feeling strong. My fingers are spread out, pressing down through the tops of my shins, the tops of my feet. Slowly finding this posture more and more comfortable, Shoulder blades getting close together, shoulders getting wider. Gaze is down, tummy is nice and engaged. Tailbone is slightly tucked. Feeling strong. We're about to do some spinal balance and strength and balancing work here in tabletop. So we'll just take just one more moment. If you need to bring a blanket or pillow under your knees for comfort, by all means do so. But when you're ready on that next inhale, we're going to take that right arm, extending that out in front of us, sending that thumb to the ceiling or sky. Inhaling, feeling those back ribs expand and open up. Exhaling, staying with that statuesque form, feeling so strong. And on the next inhale, we'll gently send that left leg out, extending. Opposite leg with opposite arm. Here we are balanced. I apologize if you're mirroring. Your right hand is on the mat, left knee is on the mat. And on an exhale, we will lower both arm and leg down to the mat. Now all four hasas and padas are on the mat. Once again, feeling grounded. Maybe we're rolling out those wrists, taking just a moment. Let's get back into that shape. Inhaling, feeling strong. Getting into that table, that muscle memory. Exhaling. Feeling those ribs come in, that belly can come to the navel. On the next inhale, if you're mirroring, we'll gently send that right arm out front. Feeling nice and strong. And on the next inhale, if you like, we can send that left leg out long the back of us, pressing that left heel, if you're mirroring, against an imaginary wall. Staying here for a few breaths, feeling this balance, this strength, grounding into the ground, to the earth. On the next inhale, we can lift to our fullest expression. And on the exhale, we can bring that hand and knee to the mat. Let's go ahead and on the exhale, lower those hips to our heels. Big toes can be close together for our child's pose. Knees can be close together or out wide. You choose. Taking just a moment here after that tabletop. Let's scan the body. And on an inhale, we'll press through those hands back into our tabletop. On the exhale, we're going to lower down for our cobra, three-part cobras. We'll gently lower our belly down to the mat. Our hands can be under our shoulders. Legs are relaxed. We'll be pressing down through the pelvic triangle here. So on an inhale, we'll press down through that pelvic triangle. Maybe the head and top of the shoulders come off the mat. Shoulder blades close together. Maybe your hands stay on the mat. Maybe they come off. And on the slow exhale, we lower down. Chin or favorite cheek can find the mat. And on the next inhale, we press down through that pelvic triangle. Maybe a little taller this time. Head and shoulders come off the mat, maybe a rib or two. Hands can stay on the mat for stabilization. Exhaling, we gently lower down. And here we are, the third and final. Inhale, pressing down through that pelvic triangle, coming to our fullest expression, no pain in our back. Exhale, we lower down, nice and gentle. Favorite cheek finds the mat. We could take a bend in our knees. A little windshield wiper sway back and forth. Just embracing this calm, this beautiful practice. And when you're ready, those legs can find the mat. We're going to stay here for just a moment longer for some half locust. Here we are once again, pressing down through that pelvic triangle. Our arms this time can be by our side. Palms can be facing down or facing up. I'm going to put my palms facing down. And on an inhale, pressing down through that pelvic triangle, relaxing my right leg, I'm going to send my left leg up to the sky. Right leg is completely relaxed. Left leg is gently off the mat. Maybe your toe is pointed. Maybe the ball of your foot is pointed. You can pulse here if you like, making this dynamic. You can stay here in a static pose if you like. Once again, pressing down just to that pelvic triangle, feeling it in that left glute. If you like to, on that next exhale, we can gently lower down. On the next inhale, pressing that pelvic triangle, now we raise our right leg up. Once again, pulsing that if you like, or staying static, such as myself. Staying with that Ujjayi breath. This is a wonderful, wonderful, I hate to say it, but butt exercise will definitely help with the cheeks if that's what your goal is. These half shalabasanas or half locusts. And on an exhale, we'll lower that down. Maybe once again, ooh, something got me bad. Oh, not again. Maybe we take a windshield wiper bend in our knees and we windshield wiper the legs. I'm so sorry, y'all. I can't edit that out. That hurt. We'll go ahead and lower the legs when we're ready. On an inhale, we can press up through the legs or through the hands into our tabletop. Maybe get some composure. We'll tuck those toes. And on the next inhale, the knees can come up. And on the exhale, the hips come high. We can start to walk out this dog, this down dog, pressing through the fingers and not the palms. Letting those shoulders nice and loose, shoulder blades down the spine. Maybe you find your hips are getting higher. Here we are in this down dog. Staying with those long breaths, that Ujjayi breath, feeling strong, recovering from that insect attack. And on the next inhale, we can lift our heels. On the exhale, we'll bend the knees, walk our feet to the center of the mat. We walk our hands to our feet, walking those hands on the inhale up our legs for our half lift. Here we are, our feet are about hip width apart. Toes are spread, we're grounding, knees are slightly bent for center of gravity. Our torso is parallel to the ground. Hands can be on the thighs for support. Maybe our arms are in those airplane wings with the shoulder blades close together, giving strength to our entire back and our core. This is a great, great back and core strengthener. Just standing in this posture, just make sure you're not feeling any discomfort. And on an exhale, we can take a deeper bend in those knees. If this is in your practice for a ragdoll or forward fold, letting that neck relax, opening up that cervical spine. Staying here, feeling that back open up. Maybe your hands are holding the elbows, swaying side to side. Maybe your hands are on the mat for stability. But getting ready to root down, coming to our tall mountain. We're going all the way up this time, so the toes are spread. We're going to take a little deeper bend in the knees, rooting down on the inhale, reaching up that tall mountain. Feeling good. We're going to be working on pyramid and triangle, so I'm going to stay in this direction as I'm in mountain. Exhale, those arms can slowly float down to my side body. We'll start with pyramid, so I'll take, if you're mirroring me, right leg's going to go forward to the front of the mat. My left leg can stay exactly where it is. It can go backwards a little bit if you like. This is what they consider a half mat position. Our feet are on railroad tracks. Knees are not locked. We got a slight bend, as much of a bend as you like, but we're tall in the spine. On an inhale, we feel nice and good. Shoulders will loop up, back, and down. And on the exhale, we can gently just hinge our hips, using those hands on the thighs if you like for support. This is a core exercise. Feel free to stop wherever you like. If this is as far as you'd like to go, this is great. You're getting a great core strengthener here. You're getting a hamstring stretch in your right and left leg. If you're able to and would like to, if it's in your practice, you can continue that journey down, trying not to round that spine, but staying strong in the spine, extending through that crown. Each exhale, maybe you go a little bit lower, feeling that stretch deeper and deeper in that hamstring on the right leg. But again, shoulder blades close together, chin relaxed, face relaxed, staying with that long Ujjayi breath. Arms can be wherever you like. Gratitude, airplane, cactus on your legs. And on the next inhale, we're going to ride this breath up, maybe using your hands on your thighs for support, all the way up, feeling nice and tall. Exhale, we can take a breath, grab some water if you like. Once you're ready, we're going to heel toe this back foot a little bit, this left foot a little further out. Still not a full mat position or posture, but here we are, our back foot. In this case, the left foot is going to be perpendicular to my right foot, facing forward. So they're at a 90-degree angle. I'm still in this plane. My legs are straight, but my knees aren't locked. There's a slight bend. Tall here. Here we are for triangle. Inhale, I feel nice and strong in the spine, nice and tall, strong in the torso, belly button to my spine. And on the exhale, I'm going to hinge towards that front foot, creating a line going from my left foot up my left leg, all the way up this line, making sure this spine of mine stays strong. You're going to feel this stretch and strengthener all along this left side if you're mirroring me. You're going to feel it in your shoulders and back. This is a strengthener, staying with that long Ujjayi breath. Your tailbone is tucked to your heels, so your core is nice and engaged. Notice I don't have to be over here and I'm short of breath. If you like, you can have a bend in that front knee if you would like to. You certainly don't have to. Just make sure that knee doesn't project past that heel. And when you're ready, if you feel like your core and that left side is all engaged as much as it needs to be, we can inhale, coming up, exhale, floating those arms down, relaxing them. Maybe we bring those right toes now to the long edge of the mat, or the long edge of the mat. The left toes can now point towards what was the back is now the front of the mat. We're going to whip this back leg all the way around, finding that pyramid stance, that half mat posture. Feel free to take a moment. Legs are on rails, feet are on rails, about hip width apart. No lockage in the knees, tall through the crown and spine. Inhale. Exhale, we gently hinge those hips, maybe using those hands on the thighs for support, stopping wherever is our edge. Maybe with each exhale, we get a little deeper into the posture, inhaling tall through the crown, exhaling, feeling that stretch now in our left hamstring, that front leg. Feel free to take a deeper bend if you like. Make sure that left leg or that front leg is not locked to the knee. We definitely don't want to do that. Squaring our hips. We feel that stretch oh so deep. Deep like insect bites. And on the next inhale, we're going to ride that breath up. Feeling nice and tall in the spine. Relaxing the shoulders, making sure they stay back with our shoulder blades close together. We'll go ahead and heel toe that back foot a little bit of a further stance, but still not a full mat posture. Now our back leg, those right toes are pointed towards the long end of the mat. The left toes are forward for that 90-degree angle, still in that plane. Knees aren't locked, but I've got a triangle shape. Here we are in triangle. Inhaling tall through the spine, making that sun or that beach ball here at the beach. Exhale, I'm going to slowly just hinge those hips until I find that nice line going from up the leg, up the side. And if I want to, I can take it a little bit deeper. Again, making sure that knee doesn't project past the heel. I can always scooch it over if I need to. Just finding that good spot. We're going to stay here for a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds in all. Got another 10 or 15 left, so don't push it too far. This is a practice. Tomorrow you can always go a little further. And then the next day and the next day. Then on the next inhale, we can take that bend out of your leg and slowly bring those arms down on the exhale. We've wrapped up our pyramid and triangle. We'll now do some bonsai. We can heel toe our feet together. I just took a big step here at the sand. It's a little soft. Here I am in the center of my mat, standing nice and tall. Mountain, feet can be about hip width-ish apart. For any of our balancing postures, which we're about to go into, we want to have our toes spread wide, create that big base. We're going to push down in all four corners of the feet, both sides of the feet. We really want to ground down here. So we'll start on your right, my left side. I'm going to go ahead and on an inhale, shift my navel over my your right leg. You'll feel it makes that left leg a little bit lighter. For our bonsai, on the next inhale, we can gently bring our leg up. Sorry, I'm just getting a bug off my leg. Bring our leg up, crossing it, that right ankle over our left knee, or sorry, left ankle over the right knee, if you're mirroring. So you can see me making a figure four with my legs. Hands can be in gratitude by your hips, holding a wall. And here we are in our bonsai. If you'd like to, on an exhale, you can sink down, hinging at the hips, bending slightly at the knee, keeping that center of gravity. You can go as deep as you like, all the way into an arm balance. Here with these flies in this beach, I'm not going that far, but I'll bend it down here, staying with that long Ujjayi breath. Ooh. Feel free to have a wall or a prop for support. Taking just another moment here, inhaling. Arms can be however you like. You can be standing tall. You don't have to take a bend. Whatever's in your practice, we're all different. Whew. Ooh-wee. Woo. Here we are, standing tall. We'll go ahead and bring our leg out if you like and just down gently. Take a moment rolling out that ankle, your right leg, my left leg. Oh, here we are now. I'm going to go ahead and shift that navel over to my right, your left side now. Feeling that your right leg nice and loose. On an inhale, gently floating that leg up, crossing the ankle over the knee, finding that figure four. Feel free to stand tall. Make sure your shoulders are looped back and down. Otherwise, you can take that bend in the knee if you like. And then the hip, hinging ever so gently to keep that center of gravity as far down as you like. Opening up that hip as we strengthen, stretching, strengthening, creating space all at the same time. It's a beautiful practice. And when you're ready, we can inhale gently. Feel free to take that leg, unbind it, and float it down when you're ready. All right, take a moment if you like. Roll that foot and heel out that we were just using for that balance, working on that third eye, the sixth chakra. Here we are, we're gonna find our way down to the mat. We are gonna do a down dog, so be ready. We're still using those muscles. Tall mountain, I'm gonna inhale, reaching my arms up, overhead. Exhaling, hinging at the hips and the knees, just gently bending, finding that center of gravity at this half lift. Shoulder blades are close together. Inhaling, feeling strong. Exhale, I'll find that whole entire forward fold. Nice and relaxed in the knees, the torso against the thighs. Taking just a moment, letting that head relax if it's in your practice. Otherwise, we'll find a down dog. We'll be right there. And when you're ready, we can bring those hands to the mat. We can walk the hands to the top of the mat. We'll walk the feet to the back, but we're going to keep those hips high. Here we are in our down dog. We're going to stay here for just a moment. It takes a moment to find the shape. Maybe those heels are slowly lowering down. You can keep a little bend in those knees if you like. Those hamstrings are tight. Pressing through those fingers, not the palms. And on an inhale, we're going to send that right leg up to the sky for our first three-legged dog, extending through the toes if you like, keeping that even weight distribution through your right and left side. Inhaling strong for this three-legged dog. As we exhale, we'll bring this knee to our chest, step that foot through to find lizard. If we stay down, here we are in our low lunge. We'll bring this right hand inside the right leg, dropping this back knee to the ground. Here we are in our lizard. This is a wonderful stretch. It's great on our hamstrings. It's great on our thighs and our hips. You can stay up like this as we stretch these legs, or you can lower down to your elbows and forearms, whatever's in your practice. Listen to your body. We'll stay here for just a moment longer. We haven't done this yet. If you've been following the program, I'm very excited about introducing this. Maybe you've got a block with you that you've got your arms resting on blocks. When you're ready, we'll curl those back toes. Bring that right foot into our back to the back corner of the mat, to our tabletop. You'll notice we're in a kind of a modified tabletop with our arms a little close to the top of the mat. On an inhale, we'll lift those knees about an inch or two with those toes curled. And on the exhale, we're going to send the hip high, walking out this dog, back in this down dog. We're about to do a three-legged dog once again with You Got It. Now the left leg. On an inhale, we're going to send that left leg high to the sky, pointing those toes, making sure we're keeping that even balance, making sure those shoulders are away from the ears. Staying here as long as you like, feeling strong. But whenever you're ready, we can gently bring that knee to our chest, shifting our weight forward, reaching our foot through. Take your time. You can walk your foot through. We'll take that left hand now, bring it on the inside of our left leg, maybe heel toe our foot to the outside of the mat, the left foot. Dropping that back knee whenever you're ready. Feeling this lizard stretch here. Now we're stretching that right hip, this left hamstring. Going as deep into the stretch as you like. Sometimes what I'll do is just send my knee out wide just to see how that feels. Opens up the hip a little bit more. Play with these postures. Listen to your body. Keep creating that space and length. And when you're ready, we can go ahead and curl those back toes. Press down through those hand locks, hands underneath our shoulders. We'll just gently send that left foot to the left corner of the mat back into our tabletop. From here, we are going to find a child's pose one last time, sending the hips to the heels. Maybe those arms are outstretched out front. Maybe they're by our body. Scanning the body, sending that energy to where it needs to go. And on your next inhale, pressing down through those hands to our tabletop. Our gaze is down at the middle of the mat. That's where we're going to find our little seat. Here we're going to send both of our legs out to the end of the mat for our half shoelace. This is a modification for cow face pose. My hips are very narrow. I have not been able to do cow face yet, so I do this half shoelace. I will start with my left leg extended out. If you're mirroring, left leg is out. My right leg, I'm going to pick up and assist because it's kind of jelly right now, and bring it across as much or as little as it wants to go. This is something that I've been working on for a couple months now. I'm seeing some great results, my hips and so forth, my knees, but it definitely takes time. It's a practice, so don't be discouraged. But once we're here, you can stay sitting upright, just feeling this stretch in your hip. If you like, certainly by all means, you can do a slight forward fold, extending on the inhale, folding gently on the exhale. The goal is for your knees to be stacked over each other. So in this case, my bent leg, that knee is just right on top of the straight leg, my left foot flexed. Trying not to round the spine. I know it's really hard. In order to do that, I keep telling myself, keep the shoulder blades close together. That encourages me to keep that chest open and stay nice and extended. Making sure I only hinge with the hips. And on an inhale, we can ride that breath up, gently unbind those legs. On an exhale, maybe shake them out. When you're ready, we can take that other leg now. If you're mirroring, it'll be your left leg. Wrap that around over top so that your left knee is stacked over your right knee. Feeling it now if you're mirroring in that left hip. Right foot is flexed. Inhale tall. Exhale, we're going to hinge. Again, trying not to collapse in that spine. Trying to stay nice and tall. Just feeling that stretch in the hip, maybe in the back of the hips, maybe in the buttocks, the lower back. Feeling nice and calm towards the end of the practice with this ocean and feeling all the space in my body, getting all that kind of excess energy out. Sorry if I get quiet. It's really soothing. On the inhale, we'll ride that buoyant breath up, unbind the legs, shake them out. We will gently find our supine position for a little brief bridge and inversion, and slowly wrapping things up. All right, here we are on our back. Maybe we've got the knees into our chest. When we're ready, we can just let go of those knees, letting those feet fall to the ground right by our sits bones. With the legs by our side, palms up or down. Maybe your arms are at a 90-degree angle and you stabilize to the backs of the arms. On an inhale, we're going to press down through those feet, sending the hips high. I'm going to keep this static. You can make it dynamic, riding that breath. You can bring a block in under your tailbone for something more restorative. Me, I'm going to give a nice stretch to these hips, top of the hips, a nice engagement from my glutes, a stretch for my tummy. Staying here for a couple breaths. pressing down through those feet, making sure my neck and head are relaxed. Using that Ujjayi breath. And when you're ready, on the next exhale, if you like, we can gently lower those hips down to the mat. Maybe bringing our knees in one more time, hugging them in for a little counter stretch. This is a time in our practice for an inversion. It's always good to let that blood flow from our legs and feet down to our heart space. So here we are, I'm in a waterfall. Just gonna stay here. My arms are holding my legs for support, but notice I'm nice and relaxed, nothing stretching, no muscles are engaged, shoulders relaxed, face is relaxed. Just letting gravity and science do what it does best. Just pumping that blood to our heart. Our heart's pumping our blood back to our heart. This is helping. And if you're in a full inversion, or if your back is off the mat, feel free to take your time, but we can find the mat whenever you're ready. If you're just in a waterfall, chillaxing like myself, we can send those feet down to the end of the mat whenever you're ready. You can do a happy baby, you can rock those knees, sway the knees, hammocks, whatever you like, but I'm just gonna send the feet out. Start preparing for Shavasana, that corpse pose. This time in the practice where we're nice and relaxed. Grateful for this practice. Back where we started from. However, this time we feel more spacious, we feel cleaner, all of that air that's been pumping into our brain, the dopamine, feeling calm. This is who we are. I'm covered in flies. That's who I am. But still smiling. Grateful that we can always come back to this space, no matter how difficult life gets. I guess this is a good time as ever to go ahead and find awareness, wiggling our toes, wiggling our fingers, being grateful for the day, just finding the beauty in everything. Everything has beauty. We all are beautiful. Sometimes we forget it. As a society, we have learned not to communicate it, I believe. So if you don't hear it enough, you are a beautiful person. I believe that. Whether I've met you or not, we are all beautiful. And I'm so sorry if you're one of those people that doesn't hear it enough. Anytime you want to hear it, press play, give me a shout. Well, these flies have given me plenty of awareness, so I'm going to slowly rock myself up to that easy seat, bring myself to a place where my bones are stacked. I'm aware, but calm, confident, and in control. Floating my arms up on the inhale, bringing my hands to gratitude, and on the exhale, bringing them to my heart space. The light in me loves, honors, and adores the light in you. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for taking this journey for yourself. I think that's the most important. Feel free to pass this along to anyone. Reach out. Keep loving yourself. Keep riding that wave. I love you guys so very much. You are all very beautiful and wonderful. Namaste.